if you're following along, I just want to thank you first off. If you've been through, I don't know how many videos now, but there's been quite a few to get this thing off the ground. And doing this is kind of new to me, screencasting the whole thing. So you'll probably learn along with me different pain points of the recording process, uploading process, all that stuff of the videos that you're watching. Some might be more fluid than others, and others might be smooth. But anyway, up until now, we had a single design we were working from, which is this one here. And it's a very boxed in version. And I wanted to show Alyssa at least one more option that use at least elements from this other style guide I made initially. I feel like we're still going to be heading in this direction in terms of color palette, but the one that you probably saw just before this that I kind of just did a time-lapse video on is this one here, and I really like it. My concern only is the treatment of photos. They're black and white, I think looks the best at this stage. If we introduce color maybe on a different page, that would be something that might happen. But as of right now, we're kind of conversing internally to see which route to take. I don't know which one we'll land on, to be honest. So it's kind of up in the air because they're both pretty good routes, I think. One is a definitely more elegant kind of solution, and the other is big and loud and bold. For grins, since this one was enclosed and kind of boxed out, I went ahead and made a full width one here. And I think from this point forward, we might create an about page just to show somewhat of an internal, more different layout for the page. I feel like we might go with this route. It just seems a little more serious, a little more elegant, and not so loud and proud, I guess, which is not a bad thing, but I think as a consultant you want to be approachable. So I feel like this looks more professional in that, right? So I think what I'm going to do is stem an about page from this. I don't think I'll be very strict about only black and white photos. I feel like maybe we'll do that on the internal page like I'm going to do now. So let's try to make an about page using this route. We'll just do V2 in case I have to go back and do a different one. One thing I've noticed is this logo is inverted while this is full, I guess, inverted back. So we have to do something in terms of code that maybe is a fixed navigation. When you scroll down, a background comes into play, or this logo might need to not be stacked like it is. It might need to be left aligned just to make sure that height of that bar that probably will display isn't so ridiculous. So, or we can somehow programmatically find out when it's on a dark background and change the color in real time. Seems like a lot of overkill there, but we'll see. So I think I'm gonna keep this heading style going, but delete some of this other stuff. And the rest of the site, I mean, besides the homepage, is pretty dang simple. So be kind of in the clear about the direction. It doesn't need to be this like super jaw-dropping kind of thing, but it does need to look obviously consistent. So I think I'm gonna keep the light background, but go ahead and invert this back on this page. And can't forget about that little dot thing. So the about page obviously should have some sort of kind of like getting to know Alyssa thing. We have some content from her here. I might just drop it in for now. Oops. Pro tip, if you're an Affinity Designer and you need the text area tool, or whatever it's called, hit T twice on your keyboard, and it toggles from, well, I didn't mean to do that. If it toggles from just the basic single line text, artistic text tool that they call it, to the frame text tool. I don't know why they have to name it, kind of ridiculous, but that took me a minute to get, because Illustrator and Sketch and every other platform, you don't need two tools there. They just kind of work and wrap the way you would want. That's kind of a downfall, but also, I don't know, I guess with the artistic text tool, you can type on paths, which is pretty nice. So if you wanted to do like a circle type path kind of scenario. Anyway, getting back to this, no idea what we're going to do with all this content for now. For this, we're going to we have a really large grid. It's basically full width for the header on the home page. Probably want to maintain that to be consistent. Trying to see what a good tagline would be for an about page, like learn what I do or something like that. She will probably go back through with the fine-tooth comb and help me there. Do some filler text for now. That wasn't enough. I want it to be 2 lines just to show. By the way, I'm using a Mac app called Little Ipsum. It sits in your top bar, menu bar, and anytime you can copy so much text. It's super useful for a web designer, someone that needs basic filler text for a minute. Maybe we'll go centered on this page. And paragraph. Oh, why is it grouped? Okay. So I know in our style guide I had all the headings be this blue color, but I don't think it stands out enough. So I'm kind of reverting back to black for those. I might as well just change it. And this certainly isn't accurate to our design now, but it got us started, and I think that's important. If I were handing this off to another developer, I would definitely update that. But since I am actually developing it, I kind of know what I'm thinking at any given moment about it. So we'll see how this works. Might do like a 2-column publication feel. And it's not really even. Might have to have her add like one more paragraph. Okay, let's make sure it's centered. Cool. We could probably bring the branding back a little bit. Not as loud and proud, but, and I don't know if it's just me, but there is no line tool. We've got all these shape tools. There's no like legit line tool, so I end up just pinning it out, which is fine, but you'd think maybe they'd approach that differently. I don't know. One thing I should bring back are the guides for the actual container grid. I'm gonna do that real quick here. So I want to actually kind of do something like so, or mask that curve. see if I do this right. No. Nope, that wasn't right either. So let's undo that. I think this needs to happen. No, it's the other way. Stuff's confusing. That's wrong too. Huh. Well, I guess instead of the mask, I'll just fake it and do same color as the background, because I can do this in code, I believe. So we'll do that. Have the curve underneath there. Rectangle would be that color. And then we'll go right above that line. There we go. It's not pretty, but it's working. I think I noticed, I remember I used the wrong color there. It should be our global color. So if I were to change, see the little tick on this color, if I change that to something else, anything that uses that swatch in particular would update. So that's pretty dang useful to me. So then we can have like a huge, maybe full width photo of her. I will have to find that in our photography file or folder. Let's do cover flow because it's easier. I just reuse this one and do like a, or not reuse it, but do this one and have something on that wall, whether it's a quote or something like that. Might be nice. While that opens, I know this was a link in that file, so I'm going to go ahead and create that. There's our grid back. I failed to make that right. So we're going to have a pretty wide margin there, which is good. I don't like when text spans way too far. It makes it incredibly hard to read. Every book you pick up has a wide margin on purpose. You'll probably think of that the next time you read a book. Maybe. I don't know, this is kind of loud. Waiting on this to open, there we go. And we'll put that in designer. Massive. So let's see how it looks when we do something like that. It would be cool if her head like came out of that. Maybe I can do that. maybe this will be a quote like we had. And we'll left align it. It's grouped, of course. So let's do left align. And this would be a quote from her, I would assume, so. Or even just an inspirational leader in the industry somewhere, I don't know. I don't know, maybe this should just be black and white. Like, I hate for every photo to be black and white, but it does just look better because this brown, I don't think really is doing justice. I think what we did instead of black and white was this. One thing I forgot is she had a call to action on this. Maybe I'll sub that content we put in for now for like a link, a text link or something, a button. Maybe we'll go with this route. Actually, I'm gonna undo that. Keep that. And we'll just somehow make it work. We'll just center it. What did she say on hers? Hire me. Okay, should that go there? I don't feel like it should. We've got the call to action on the top all the time, and I think we can maybe repeat, just repeat this this call to action here. I like it. Maybe we'll link to her Twitter or something here. Make this bold. One more thing we can do maybe is have like an Instagram feed. I'm not gonna really design that, but maybe it'll just be a grid of images, say like 300 each. I don't know if they're perfect squares. I think they are. This feels a little dark. Let's see if I can't adjust the levels. Maybe bring the whites back in. That's going on the whole document. No, it's not. It's there. Okay. And like, do we have curves? We do. Something like that. Let's see if it looks. If I take the levels off. I like it. All right. Not sure what the hell that is. Oh, that's the thing underneath. What if I just... Okay, that's why. Well, I don't know. That kind of looks cool. So this area would cover that, so it doesn't just come to a halt. I wonder if I can not have this be black and white. This one. That's the one below, so this is the one we want. Or is it? There we go. I think that works. I won't go back and edit this like crazily on the video, but I'm probably going to tweak this little strands of hair and get that right. And then this is just for sanity's sake. And it's not actually white, it's a little off-white. That. So there's a little bit. Maybe behind it I can have a little shadow. So it gives a bit of depth to where she's behind and that's in front. I don't know how that's gonna look. That way. Offset quite a bit. I don't know. That works, I think. There needs to be a bit of hierarchy in this title size though, so maybe we'll bring it back down a little. This whole thing is actually pretty large. Could potentially not go full width, but we'll tackle that when we get to code, I think. I might have some call to actions here, like I want to call to action to the blog. I don't know. That's not what I want, but I want it to be there so we fill it back in later. And definitely not that large, but still large. Okay, I don't know, that's definitely not final, but it's general idea, I think. So that's our about page. I think I'm gonna wrap that up for now. And in the next video, we will either be doing the services page or getting ready to code, to be honest. We're kind of at that phase to where we need to start thinking of tech stack, and I feel like I've narrowed it down to what I'm going to use and make it easy on Alyssa, because you could go a couple different ways. WordPress is always an option. It's very easy to use for anyone who's used to it or new to a CMS, but I think I want to avoid that this time around, because I want to learn something new myself and to just start exploring different ways to solve problems. So without further ado, stay tuned for that in the next video to come. The services page may or may not be in that video. If not, I will see you next time. Hope you're ready to code.